I mean, hockey and football just don't lend themselves to all-star games if you want to have something that represents the way a game, the way a game is played. I got to tell you, I think the NHL, I think this is about as good as it can get. Maybe it's because I have limited expectations about the All-Star game. But you know what? The one thing I think we saw yesterday, and I thought it was really well done. We did kind of see these players humanized. Now, they may not, in humanizing those players, you may reveal them all to be essentially boring individuals. I mean, that's, they are what they are. But I think this is about the best you can do, Jeff. I really do.
I agree with you. I think that, the NHL has struck a really good chord here saying, look, we know it's not going to be a competitive game 5-on-5. We know it's going to be Nolan Ryan hockey, no hits. No one's going to touch each other. So, what is the element in the game where there is no hitting? And Don mentioned it. When you see 3-on-3 overtime hockey, you can count on one hand the amount of body checks you've seen this year in 3-on-3 hockey. It's exciting. It's, the guys really go for it. I've always said this. There's only one way you're going to get a competitive game at the All-Star game, and that's this. If the winning team doesn't have to pay escrow, these guys will play the most competitive game you've seen all season long. But I think the nice touch the NHL has here is, look, we're not going to play a 5-on-5 game. We're going to have a 3-on-3 tournament. There is no hitting in 3-on-3. It's all up and down the ice. You can argue about the efforts, but to me, the All-Star game has always been about two things, kids and sponsors. The look on kids' face when they see all the superstars together. I can be as cynical as the next guy and talk about, as a TV event, is it interesting? Is it intriguing? And then I go to the local level, and you look around and you see all the kids there that are seeing all those superstars all in the exact same place, joking around, just being guys. And to your point, becoming more humanized. And it's also a thank you for the sponsors, for the people that help keep the lights on. So I don't mind the game element itself. And if you're going to have a game, I think the 3-on-3 is the best way to do it because there's not going to be any hitting in that game to begin with.
No, and, I've gone to All-Star games I haven't gone to Pro Bowl, but I've gone to an NHL All-Star game. I've gone to a lot of baseball All-Star games. And Jeff, the one common thing, people who are there in the stands, they're all having fun. I seldom go to an All-Star game and see people leaving upset. Now, the All-Star game in Milwaukee, frankly, the baseball game, a lot of people were pissed off when it was declared a tie. But people are having fun, and that to me is what it's about. I mean, the customers seem to like it. We may not. Some of us in the media may not like it, but you know what? Man, the customers seem to like it.
It's all based on your expectations. Like, I go into the All-Star game thinking one thing. I want to see the best game of shinny hockey in the world. The best game of shinny hockey played anywhere in the world is the NHL All-Star game because of that elite level skill. That's kind of want to go. So I can't come away disappointed because my expectation isn't that I want to see the 1987 Stanley Cup final with Philadelphia and Edmonton. I'm not thinking that going in. My expectations are lower. I just want to watch a good shinny game of hockey. That's why I don't come away disappointed about this thing.